This new generation is stacked with powerful Pokémon. New mechanics, moves, and abilities have been introduced, so it's bound to shake up the competitive scene. So, here's what I think the top competitive Pokémon are. And just a heads up on the list, I'm not including the legendaries from either version, and I'm not including Pokémon like Tapu Koko, Fine, or Bulu, just because those are obviously going to be shaking up the competitive scene. So here we go! So Oranguru is my first choice for the list. To start, this typing is normal and psychic, so unlike most normal types, he has the edge over fighting, and unlike most psychic types, you no longer have to worry about a ghost counter. Sorry, Mimikyu. Along with that, he will work great in double battles, which is currently the competitive format. With the ability Telepathy, attacks like Earthquake or Discharge from your teammate does no damage. Finally, he learns a new move called Instinct. This lets your teammate attack again with the same move. Used wisely, I can expect some crazy plays used with Oranguru. I'm always an advocate of getting more ghost-type Pokemon in the competitive scene. It just so happens this ghost is also a sandcastle. Palossand has a decent typing despite having a few weaknesses being ground and ghost, leaving it immune to 3 types. 3 types is a lot to be immune to. This can serve as a solid counter for electric, normal, and fighting types. Palossand's ability, Water Compaction, gives it a 2-stage in defense increase if it's hit by a water attack, which is huge. So if you switch into a weaker water attack, then your defense is going to get buffed right off the bat. So I think this would be a valuable Pokemon to keep for switch-ins, and it's pretty much just a well-rounded Mon in general. The next Pokemon is Comfey. Its typing is Fairy and most likely won't have the best stats, but the reason I think it could be viable is because its Tri-Edge ability. This ability makes healing moves have priority in battle. It's already confirmed Comfey has Synthesis, so if you add a move to heal your ally Pokemon, you could be really in business. So I was thinking if it got something like Healing Pulse, then I think it would be a very viable option in the competitive scene for a support Pokemon. Lycanroc, the evolution of Rockruff, is the next on my list. It is both a midday and a midnight form. I'm more interested in the midday form though. Its ability is Sand Rush, and it gives it a speed boost when it's in like a sandstorm environment. So if you put up Sandstorm and then you have moves like a Celorock, it has so many priority options. So depending on the stats he's given, I'm thinking he's going to be a really solid counter to a lot of fire and flying type Pokemon. And, well, if they're both types, RIP Talonflame. My next choice is Decidueye, or however you pronounce that. You know, it's the grass owl. It evolves from Rowlet. You guys get it. So, this Pokemon, its ability so far is average, which is Overgrow, which most of the grass starters have. But what I'm really curious about is its secret ability or hidden ability, and I think that's going to be Levitate, because it would be weird to have a Pokemon that is a bird that doesn't avoid ground attacks. So I'm thinking that's going to be Levitate, and what really has me jazzed is the typing. Grass Ghost is really good. Being a grass type, I'd usually lose to Bug and Poison, but not anymore. It also has some interesting moves like Spirit Shackle that does damage, but also acts as a temporary mean look, keeping your opponent from switching. Needless to say, as a starter, his stats would be solid, so I expect him to be relevant competitively. Primarina is probably the best starter competitively. Water Fairy is a fantastic typing. It has 6 resistances and an immunity, and only 3 weaknesses. It resists some of the most common attacks, like Fire and Dark, and some of the least used is what it's weak to, like Bug or Grass or Electric. If this Pokemon is bulky, I could see a really good use of using it as a tank, and I'm also excited to see what the hidden ability it will have, since Torrent's pretty average, but I could see this being a real competitive threat. Salandite is going to be so strong. Competitively, Salandite has one of the most offensive types, which is Fire and Poison. Not only this, but Steel and Poison types can't switch in on Salandite without getting poisoned by Salandite's ability, Corrosion. Toxic spikes are all over your Heatran. All over. You try to switch in on me? Nope, he's done. He's poisoned. But yeah, having a Pokemon being able to poison any Pokemon competitively actually is a huge advantage. But the Pokemon website did say he was going to be kind of weak, so hopefully his stats aren't terrible so I can use him. But I do understand this because his typing is so good and his ability is so good. So let's hope they don't nerf him too much. Mudsdale is going to be so strong. The Pokemon website describes him as extremely strong and defensive. This has a trade-off of only speed. His ability is amazing. Stamina gives Mudsdale a defensive boost by any attack hitting him. He switches into a weak attack, boom, defense boost. So if given any regenerative moves, then he straight up walls any physical attackers. Hopefully he receives some strong moves, like we already know he's getting high horsepower, so I have a feeling that's going to be a nice attacking move, but it really depends on the move pool that he does receive. So, a big debate around the Pokemon community is if Mimikyu is going to be any good. I personally think that Mimikyu will be solid. With a disguise ability, Mimikyu takes no damage off the first attack. This is amazing. It gives you a free switch in, so if you're in a tight situation, he can take any attack right off the switch in. The only problem is I don't know if Mimikyu is going to have any proper counters. So if he has something like a priority ghost move, then he'll probably be able to counterattack after taking that first hit. But if he doesn't have any good moves, then he's pretty much just a punching bag. So it's really interesting to see if he'll be good or not. So the last Pokemon is Silvally. This Pokemon is incredibly similar to Arceus, and the stats will probably be a little weaker, but it's just as strong. The ability is also super helpful. The RKS system is an ability that whatever item given to it changes the Pokemon's type. This adds a whole new level of predicting of what type that is going to be when it's switched in, and also it gives the Silvally a really good chance to get some stab damage off with its type or attack multi-attack, and this attack pretty much is going to give stab to whatever type you are, no matter what type you are, so it's very versatile. I think Silvally will be really powerful, and I'm interested to see what kind of moves and stats Pokemon gives it. So yes, thank you all for watching. This video was a lot of fun to make. I've just been getting back into the competitive scene. I'm going to be doing some competitive tournaments and stuff like that this year. I'm really excited. I haven't really done much of that since Black and White, or I did a little X and Y, but yeah, thank you all for the support on this video. If you disagree with any of these, or you have any more Pokemon that I left out, feel free to leave it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you guys about that. But yeah, if you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe. All the subscriptions means a lot. It really keeps me going on all these videos. But yeah, I really like these top 10 things. I think I'm going to be doing more of them. So if you like any Pokemon content or any games in general, stick around my channel. Yeah, so this has been the Clark Knight, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye-bye.